Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is what people are seeing and experiencing in everyday life when it comes to being of the prepared mind. And I get sent pictures, videos, and emails. And if you would like to send me something for a video, my email's in the description box below. So first, we're going to start this video out with something that I'm going through right now. I feel utterly defeated. um, I told you guys about what I'm going through with my washing machine. So I went and I ordered all the parts that I need to fix my washing machine. But first, before I did all that, I did my research, what parts exactly do I need, because when it comes to fixing appliances, there's model numbers and serial numbers and this number and that number, right? So I went and I, did my research and whatever. So I went through a website that is owned by Sears, right? Sears can be trusted, right? SearsPartsDirect.com. Never ever trust them. Okay. It ended up being a scam. They are using the Sears name. They got me for $152 and like 84 cents or something like that. And now I am fighting them to get my money back. I had to call my bank, and they had to go through the fraud department and everything else like that, and they said that this is not the first time that they're hearing about this website. And if you go and you Google Sears Parts Direct complaints, you will see the absurd amount of complaints against this company, this website, that they are obviously using the Sears name to dredge up business. So I'm waiting to get my money back if I ever see it back. But because my bank is now handling it, I'm sure I will be getting it back. So then I go through this other website, which is absolutely reputable, and I get the part in today. Well, lo and behold, to me, I did not realize I ordered the wrong part. What I need is a counterweight. It's to balance the tub, okay, because I have a front loader. And on my front loader washing machine, the counterweights are on the sides. And some front loader washing machines, the counterweights are on the top and the bottom, and they look like half moons. Well, my counterweights look like L's, and they're on the sides. And I on mistake bought the half moons that go on the top and the bottom. So I'm sending that one back, and I'm getting the other one. But it's like I just feel so defeated right now. I never ever make mistakes like this when it comes to ordering parts for my appliances, because I don't hire handymen to fix my appliances. I fix all my appliances by myself, because if I were to have hired Samsung, because I already talked to them, they wanted $200 just to come out, plus parts, plus labor. It would have been cheaper just to go out and buy a new washing machine, because I would have ended up paying $800 to fix a part on my washing machine. Yeah. So that's why I opted to do it myself. But I ended up ordering the wrong part on accident. And then I got scammed through SearsPartsDirect.com. So just a warning, don't ever buy through SearsPartsDirect.com. So here is a email and a link from a community member. She said, I'm wondering if something like this is in the military's hands, or is our government that stupid? Wow. So this is a link to a movie on YouTube. It's called Jetstream. So that will be in the description box. So here's an email from a community member. She said, hey, I was curious. You mentioned that you've used Affirm before, and that's a buy now, pay later. if you have, what did you think of it? Well, actually, I use it every year during Christmas, and I have no problems with it at all, at all. Um, you can stretch, I think, your payments out for like 2 years or something like that, and yeah, and you could buy, whatever you need to buy, and you just stretch your payments out, and it's like, I don't know, $10 a month or something like that. I mean, yeah, you end up paying more in the end, but you know what I mean? If it's a huge purchase, you got to do what you got to do, especially if you can't afford a lump sum, you know? And she said, I have some bigger things that I need to get. And if I do it at one at a time, like I normally do, it'll take forever to get it all done. Also, several of the items are on sale right now. So I was debating on trying to get a firm. Not sure if I'll be approved, but wanted to get your opinion on them. Yeah, I mean, I use a firm, like I said, I use it every year at Christmas. Never had a problem with them. The only thing is you have to have somewhat decent credit to get them, but it's worth a shot. And they do a soft check on your credit. They don't do a hard check. You know what I mean? So it's not going to affect your credit when they do a soft check on your credit to see if you get approved or not. You know what I mean? So it's worth a shot. It really truly is. I do not have any complaints about a firm at all whatsoever. So you know it is what it is. If you want to try it, please do. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I've never, ever had any problems with them, ever. And I will continue to use them. And I know a lot of people don't like the buy now, pay laters, but it's the same as using a credit card, man. You know what I mean? And this is just not having a plastic card in your hand, dude. You know what I mean? Same thing. So here is a poem that was sent in by a community member, and I absolutely adore it. And it says, High on the mountaintop, a banner is unfurled. Ye nations, now look up. It waves to all the world in deserts, sweet, peaceful land on Zion's mountain. Oh, Mount, behold it stand, for God's member remembers still his promise made of old, that he on Zion's hill, truth standard, would unfold. Her light should there attract the gaze of all the world in latter days. His house shall there be reared, his glory to display, and people shall be heard in distant lands to say, Well, now go up and serve the Lord, obey his truth and learn his word. For there we shall be taught the law that will go forth, with truth and wisdom fraught to govern all the earth. Forever there his ways will tread, and save ourselves with all our dead. Then hail to Deseret, a refuge for the good and safety for the great. If they but understood that God with plagues will shake the world. He did it once before, he'll do it again. Till all its thrones shall down be hurled, its desert doth truth rear up its royal head. Though nations may oppose, still wider it shall spread. Yes, truth and justice, love and grace, desert find ample place. I love it. It's so beautiful. Thank you. So here's a picture from a community member who lives in California, and they are experiencing an egg shortage. Yeah, here's a picture to prove it. So here's a link for a YouTube video, UN debit cards for Wet BX. What is Wet BX? And here's a link, breaking news, the first names will be unsealed. And that was yesterday. The judge confirms. You guys know what that means, right? The names will be unsealed for J.E., the one who did not unalive himself. And this community member sent in a link. She said to watch the types of cinnamon that we take. Thank you. And here's another link, sensitive information, 430,000 missing children per year in the U.S. I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? It's like, God, I do not want to go off on that rant. I really don't. But it's only because I know that my ass will get a strike. and I'm not going. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. So here's a link. And she said one more stupid thing that Walmart is doing. Self-checkouts are getting worse. Paying customers end up in prison. Yeah, I've heard of that before. I have. And another link, 13 biggest prepping mistakes you must avoid or face a disaster. She said maybe it's just so help somebody explain it better, or someone else, for us to get them on board right away. Okay, thank you. So here's an email from a community member. She said, I called Blue Cross this morning and asked them what happens to current patients if the negotiations fail. Oh boy. They told me if Providence drops their contract, then Providence would be considered out of the network, which will only be 50% of coverage, etc., etc. The doctor's office is supposed to give patients written 90-day notice to allow people to find another doctor. I am going to try to make an appointment for my husband with another doctor just in case. Wish me luck. As always, he has depression, anxiety, which involves family medical leave and now Oregon paid leave, which means paperwork and family medical leave paperwork is due in August. I was able to get my referral to a nutritionist, but they are not taking appointments until January 16th because they are through Providence. I need answers now, not on January 16th. I hear oh my gosh, do I hear you? Yes. As far as target ranges after meals, etc., etc., it pays to be fed up. I Googled Asante Diabetic Nutrition Office and got the same number. That is out of order. And I found a link that had a chart for diabetics and target ranges. I am content until I see my new doctor at the end of the month. I was lucky to find and not wait until June for this year. For my advice, if you have Blue Cross and are a patient of Providence, find out who would be your preferred provider if things fail the negotiations, and make appointments now just in case. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield. And the insurance that we have is called Blue Cross Blue Shield Federal Employee Programs because my husband works for the government. We have one hell of a time trying to find doctors who take Blue Cross Blue Shield. They would rather take Medicaid, Medicare, TRICARE. And it's because they don't get paid out as quick as if they have a patient who has Medicaid, Medicare, TRICARE. So it's, whereas before they only wanted to take people who had private insurance because they got paid more. Now it's like switch, and it's ridiculous when we're the ones paying out of pocket. We're the ones going broke because we have private insurance. And, it's ridiculous. And, I'm constantly getting letters from the state of Florida asking me if I wanted to get Medicaid because I've been approved for Medicaid, had to have a secondary insurance. But because of the amount of money that we make, I would have to pay, what was the last quote that they gave me? It was like $200 a month. And I'm like, no, I'll keep my money. Thanks. You're nuts. No joke. So real quick, my son just came out here and said to me, he goes, hey, we're going to be switching car insurance. And I said, why? What's going on? We have USAA. And he goes, our insurance just jumped $100 a month. And I'm like, what? It was like three something. He goes, now it's $484 a month. We've got 2 cars with liability. Yeah. USAA is a joke now. What the heck, man? We're a military family and and a law enforcement family, and this is how you're treating us? I don't think so, pal. What the heck? Anyway, so here's an email from a community member, and she said, in the time it took to watch your channel go shopping and then return home, the bookmark for your channel gave a 404 error, just like when your channel was removed. Oh, dear Lord. So she said, I searched DuckDuckGo to see if someone had posted what happened. Lo and behold, you were there just like normal. But it appears that the actual link is now different and sports an @ in your web address. Okay. I decided to try other people's links that I haven't watched in years and they worked fine. It's odd. Makes me paranoid because your prior channel was removed right after you read something from me. No, they had gotten me. I'm not even going to go there because if I even talk about it, it's going to give me anxiety and then they'll, probably do something worse to me. Um, in my last email read by you, which I tried to send in code, you said something I didn't want you to say. Oh, well, it looks like it was my fault. No, it was not. I'm glad I refound you. I'm researching something odd in my rural area. Single poles with solar cells and apparently a camera. I saw these in 4 counties around me because I have an active imagination and read patents. I fear going full Oxford England or geofencing. I'm calling the transportation department this week before I go more work. Several years ago, I was investigating ruts on my rural property at which I do not live. These ruts led to a new telephone pole, which appeared to have a camera way up at the top. I tried to take a photo with my iPod, but the whole thing went dead. I thought it was odd because I thought I remembered noting a decent charge before leaving home. So I returned home. I got a real camera, still digital, checked the battery, and returned. It went dead too. So I called the sheriff who came out for a visit. He contacted someone, said it was the electric company. I suspect this was some sort of node for mass reporting of smart meter data. However, later I noticed the next door property has one too, and not far from mine. This has now made me suspicious as they are closer together than I would have expected for a reporting system. I may try to see how far I can get before it kills electronics. Oddly, I was watching weather radar some time ago and watched the storm get to my rural property and make perfect circle around my property and then reform past my property and then carry on as usual. What? All sorts of weird things here, and I won't get started on cryptids. What the heck? And then she said, I spoke with the Illinois Department of Transportation this morning. The poles are not theirs, but are license plate readers from local law enforcement. Really? Because if that was true, then the sheriff would have said, oh, well, yeah, it's ours. So, liar, liar, pants on fire. Our governor made license plate readers illegal due to being a abortion sanctuary state, so privacy to him is a paramount, which it should have been anyway. Next step, verify with local law if this is truly the case. I'm skeptical since one of place in the deep woods, but I have to wonder about the supposedly local person who placed a solar powered pole in a sunless place, probably drinking the fluoride. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.